Welcome to today's art lesson. Remember the rules. The rules are, you've got to respect yourself, you've got to respect others, and you've got to respect the environment. And the main way that those rules are going to work in the art room is that you're going to listen to others when they're speaking, keep the noise down so people can do their art, and don't waste your materials. Respect the paper and the implements that you're using to work with, your pencils and brushes. If you can do that, everyone's going to be happy in the art room today. Okay, today in this lesson we're going to talk about what is a point, alright? A point, if I put one here, is a dot or a spot or a mark that draws your attention, okay? So if I put one there, you're going to end up looking at it. A point can be either in 2D space, like if I put it flat on the board here, it's in 2D space, which can be in X and Y axes. Or if I come back to my point here in 3D space, that's in the middle of space, that is in the X, Y, and also the Z axis. So it's in 3 axes. Alright, here's another interesting thing about points. If I use more than one point, so let's put a few points here. If I put more than one point, your brain starts to join those points together and you see a shape. When you're working in 3D, if you're moving on to construct 3D objects, in 3D objects, points are called vertices. The last thing we're going to talk about with points today is that art made from points, all points, is called pointillism. Okay, let's go on and I'll show you some examples of some art made out of points. Here's a very famous example of pointillism by the French artist Georges Seurat. Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte. And he did this in the late 1880s. It consists of approximately 3.5 million dots to make this painting up. This one is by a Hungarian artist. It's actually a school project. Really nice picture. You can see that they've kept the color palette really simple. So the colors they're using are red, yellow, and black. And it's actually interesting because the white you can see isn't a color they've used. The white is the white of the paper. Here's a really interesting example of using dots or points. This skull has been made on the computer and it actually looks completely white until you turn the lights out and you realize it's glow in the dark. This is a really good example of your brain joining all the points together to make the shape. So it's your brain doing the work here to show the picture of the skull. Check out this fantastic example of a guy doing some pointillism art. He's very patient and works to create something really amazing. Okay, so that's Miguel Endara. He took 210 hours to do that drawing and it's got 3.2 million dots making it up. Okay, team, this is the art journal that we're using. These are the notes that I'd like you to put in your art journal for this lesson. Pause the video here so that you can copy these notes down. Okay, here's our artist model that we're going to use for our art exercise. So I'm going to go on now to show you which part of the model to look at and what kind of art exercise we're going to do for this lesson. Okay, so here's a close-up of the model's hand, and this is a 15-minute drawing that you're looking at, sped up. So I'm now going through making small dots with the pen and drawing the model's hand. Okay, so I think if you were drawing it, I would be coming and saying to you, oh, I don't think you've got the angle quite right where the hand kinks. But don't forget, I'm sort of looking at it from a different angle. So don't worry about that. The main thing you've got to be looking at is you're looking for the dark areas. So I'm looking for all the areas that are darkest first and trying to put the dots in and make the dark areas to make it stand out. There's no rubbing out. You can't go wrong because you're using a pen. So the main thing is you just go slowly and steady and build up your pen dots, build up your points. So once you've watched me do this piece of art, I want you to go and underneath your notes, I want you to see if you can draw the model's hand with points. And once you finish that, you can do another drawing next door. You can draw anything you want as long as you just do it only using points. And that's the end of the lesson.